is sponsored by J&K Home Furnishings.
3 years ago, Russia invaded Ukraine. At the time, just about everyone expected the conflict would last weeks. But weeks turned into months, months into years. Hundreds of thousands of lives later, the end of the war could be in sight, but one low-country political expert has questions on how peace is being negotiated.
And yet they fought very strong, and I think surprised a lot of us.
The Ukrainian flag still flies outside the house of John Gunderson, who promised it would stay that way. The Russia-Ukraine war was over. Gunderson says we can make no mistake about it. We have to remember how it all started 3 years ago.
Russia invaded Ukraine against all international law. We've had a million casualties and 300,000 deaths. Russia has destroyed the Ukrainian economy, has kidnapped kids back to Russia to make them Russian, not Ukrainian, and have destroyed the civil structure as part of their policy. So that's the backdrop we have to think about when we negotiate peace today.
Gunderson knows Ukraine and Russia well, a retired senior foreign service officer who opened the American embassy in Ukraine back in 1991, an ambassador under President Bill Clinton. Says it's time to end this bloody war, but says President Trump cutting a deal, negotiating with Russian President Vladimir Putin is not the way to go.
I think Trump should be peace through strength. That's what he talks about. So I'm surprised, embarrassed that we are voting with Russia. We are voting with Iran, North Korea, against our allies and Ukraine. To me, that's earth-shocking. It really hurts me. And if we want to have a good negotiation, a fair peace, we have to do it from strength.
As the U.S. and Ukraine work on a possible economic agreement, Gunderson says we have to continue to support Ukraine militarily. Advances on the battlefield may be going Russia's way, but back home, things are different, and it could help Ukraine's hand in future negotiations with Moscow.
Their economy finally is falling apart. 10% inflation, 20% interest rate. 1 million Russians, almost 1 million young Russians have left, and these are the best and the brightest, the IT people. So in the long run, the strength is not with Russia, but we need that long-term commitment. And only then could we have a reasonable, strong negotiations.
So while there is a growing divide between Ukraine and our European allies over President Trump's direct negotiations with Russia, all agree there is an urgent need to end this war. And instead of playing into Putin's hands and giving into his demands, Gunderson says you have to persuade Trump that it is in his best interest to be tougher on Putin.
He doesn't want to be seen like Biden was with Kabul or Nixon was in Vietnam, having that helicopter leaving the roof of the embassy, or having that Russian can come into Kiev to say, you're going to be seen as a loser president, and you're the tough guy, and so you've got to be tough with Putin. And if you do that, you'll be greeted.
Until then, this flag still flies. And Gunderson said it would be a tragedy if Trump sells out Ukraine, but after today, all bets are off. President Trump, Vice President Vance, and Ukraine President Zelensky basically got into a shouting match in the Oval Office. Trump berating Zelensky, saying he is gambling with World War III. Zelensky then told to leave the White House. Really an astonishing turn of events this afternoon. Much more on that angle of the story coming up a little later in the show.